Howdy, Ags. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Number, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Today, we are sitting down with Donovan Green. After it has been a while, I know you guys haven't seen Karlina and I in a little bit of a minute, but we're back, and we are here with Donovan to just have a really insightful episode. 3 people here who have all torn their ACL, Donovan in recovery, so just getting some insight on what this process has been like for him since then. But thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get it started.
Yeah, so thank you, Donovan, for joining us today. We're glad to have you. I'm just going to introduce you real quick. So Donovan's a sophomore this year from Dickinson, Texas. Had a great freshman year as well and won Aggie Offense Top Newcomer Award your freshman year, right? Congratulations. That's a big deal as a freshman.
Yeah, it is.
So we always like to start off asking our guests to kind of tell us their story of what brought them to Texas A&M, maybe how they found out about it. What made you want to come to Texas A&M? Or what brought you, maybe if you don't want to say what made you want to come, but what was appealing to Texas A&M for you?
Growing up, I really was a UT fan until I started to get recruited, like around my sophomore year.
Aggie.
And then I actually started seeing in the process of looking into college, being able to learn how to use tight ends, because not a lot of schools use tight ends. So, I mean, the fact that A&M is a big program that's known for that, and they know how to produce tight ends to go into the league. They use them in their offense. They also get them down to block, because being a tight end, you have to be able to do both, not just one. Going to the next level and just coming to here, me going on a visit, I feel like it was just the coaches cared about you. Coach Coley's an amazing coach. He's a really smart dude. He knows what he's doing and everything. In the way that we learn offense, we learn it conceptually. We learn everything. So just the coaching staff, the family atmosphere, it being close to home. I'm a homebody.
We're the same way. Yeah.
being able that my family can come to every game, support me. It's just, I mean, it was all around just good in every way. So being that's really what made me come here.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. A lot of times we hear the, like, it just felt right kind of thing. But you're actually talking about a lot more, I feel like, of the depth that goes with it. I know for Carl and I, we're both close to home. That was important for me too. Opposite of you, I was an Aggie my whole life, so that was the difference. But no, there's a lot of things that you're talking about are so important. And for you then went and had an outstanding freshman year. Kind of talk about that. Did those things you feel like play into being able to go and do that right away, or like just hit on what last year was like for you?
Coming in, I didn't know really what to expect with how I was going to play. I came in with 3 other freshmen that I didn't think was going to be there. I love those guys now, Jake and Theo. But I came in with Theo, and Jake had already been here for the spring. And so I came in really at the back of, I guess, the squad and everything that we did. Mm-hmm. Through the summer, I did good. I did my thing. We got into fall ball. And then that's when I really started to pick up, because that's when I was able to, I guess, separate myself actually playing football, other than just like the looks part, because Theo was huge and he's faster than me and stronger than me. So I was really able to separate myself when we started putting on the pads. We started getting the blocking and stuff. And as we worked our way through fall camp, it just started to line up with me getting more reps and me just being more confident, being able to learn a playbook and know more plays. One of our tight ends actually ended up, something happened with him, and then I got put into second string. And so going into Sam Houston, the first game of the year, it was a Tuesday. And going through walkthroughs before practice, Max goes down because somebody pushes a defensive guy into his leg. So his knees go down on a Tuesday of the Sam Houston game. And it's like, okay, I'm up now. So going into that game, I knew they didn't really trust me that much. I didn't start. So they put an offensive lineman in as a tight end, Crown.
Oh, okay.
So he was going to be playing tight end with me.
Wow.
And so we was game planning that all week. The game comes, he starts. He ended up doing something wrong, like the second drive of the game. He's like, get him out, put 18 in. I was like, all right, I'm going in. I go in, I do good. That game, I do really good blocking. I didn't get any targets that game. And then just after that, after going through that game and getting all my jitters out, because I was nervous.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I can
Going
only
in,
imagine.
freshman.
Like,
Also playing in front of the crowd at Kyle Field.
running
I
out
can
that game, it's like you're in a tunnel. Everybody's getting hyped before you hear the song go off. You hear the sirens and you hear the smoke. And so I'm running through the tunnel and I can't see anything. If you never run through a tunnel with smoke, I couldn't see anything. I'm like running, trying not to stumble, because like when you go down a ramp,
I would fall.
And with so
I'm
many
clumsy.
people,
I would definitely fall.
the concrete, there's like concrete right before the field, because it's like the little black turf and there's concrete in the field. It's like a big step. And I hit my foot on that and I almost failed because I couldn't see anything. And like you run through the smoke and it's like it's all quiet. And then you break through the smoke and you just hear the
That's
crowd.
crazy.
It's just loud and crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Wow.
But no, I played that game. I did good. And just as the season went on, I got more confident. They started to trust me more and more. And I just ended up having a good season.
Yeah.
I love that. I love like underdog stories.
Yes.
I love cheering for the underdog. And you said you like came in as a freshman, didn't know what to expect. We're patient kind of in terms of waiting your turn, but also being consistent and like doing what you were supposed to do. I'm sure you were saying that they didn't trust you, but they had to have trusted you to an extent. You know, they saw something in you.
Definitely.
So that's amazing. What kind of like, talk about like the mentality that you kind of had to have, especially as a freshman, talking about playing on Kyle Field, coming in as a third string and having all these players in front of you and having to wait your turn and be patient and having your moment and being able to capitalize on it.
I was really prepared from high school. Like, not a lot of high schools develop tight ends in the right way to best fit them to go to the next level in college. Either it's a skinny, tall tight end that only plays wide receiver in high school, or either it's a big tight end that's never touched the ball in high school and only blocks. So being that I came from a school and I love my head coach at my high school, I still go there to this day. Aww. Anytime I go back, no, I did everything in high school. I blocked, I split out wide, I ran routes. I just felt like I was best prepared to be here when I came here. And I was just confident when I got here because I know what I needed to do, and I've been there before. It was just a step of being more physical because these guys are not like any guys I played in high school. And just development of the playbook. And once I was able to develop more confidence from learning the playbook, because coming in as a freshman and not, I guess, being seasoned and playing, what separates a new guy is just confidence and being able to play without thinking and just going on a run and actually being able to play fast. That's what really separates people from either being nervous or being able to just give your all and not worry about messing up.
Yeah.
So once you develop that, it's able to just take your game to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel like, confidence is huge. And also, like kind of what Carl was talking about, I'm sure that everyone did trust you, but also being able to go out and perform, it builds that trust then. Like it sets a foundation where they know each and every game you're going to go out and work. And being with that kind of same thing, you're going to go out and work, which I'm sure now with injury, you've been able to have in a whole nother way. Let's kind of go into that a little bit. You talked with us before coming here. Carl and I had no idea you had an injury before your ACL. We were only aware of the ACL, and then you gave us some insight on your injury that happened during the spring with your tibia and fibula.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Ankle. I'm like, in the back of my head, I was like, come on.
Like
they sound the same. I remember them. Kind of give us an idea first. I mean, that first major injury that you experience is different than any other. Like it's your first time being able to fully understand what it is like to have a major injury, a major surgery. What was that like for you?
All throughout high school, and even it happened in the 6th grade, I messed up my ankle in the 6th grade. Somebody fell on me, and it hurt really bad. I ended up having x-rays, and they said they would treat it just like a fracture because I still had growth plates on my ankle at the time. So I had a cast for that before. And I messed up my other ankle going into high school. And so I've always had ankle problems, rolling my ankles all throughout high school. But when it happened in the spring and it ended up being high ankle sprain, I didn't think it was that bad at the time, but when I had x-rays, they said that my tibia and fibula was separated 4 millimeters and I'll have to have surgery, and it would be a tightrope surgery. So they would basically put 2 plates on the side of my ankle and put 2, like, I guess, they explain it how it's like dental floss, but stronger.
Okay.
And they would drill through my bone from the 2 plates on each side and just pull them back together. And so that's what I got.
Wow.
It's called a tightrope surgery.
Yeah, tightrope. It's what Tua had when he was still in college, and he came back 2 weeks after it.
Wow.
So
Ooh.
I had that in the spring, but they weren't worried about me coming back anytime fast because it was in the spring. And I just had all the time. So I recovered from that around, it took me 3 months to get back from that. And I was fine. It was tough at the beginning, just getting my strength back to my ankle, but I had always had that problem, so I was good with doing the rehab. It was all stuff that I was used to.
Yeah, and a quick turnaround. 3 months is pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so I got through that, and I go into fall ball because I'm cleared for it. And then I do good in fall ball. I'm ready to be back. I'm excited because I just got off my injury. Go through all the fall camp. I'm doing good, getting better, and a week and a half before Sam Houston, it was one of our scrimmages before the fall game. And I ended up tearing my ACL probably on the route. So
yeah. And kind of I was telling you this before too. Carl, I think, could have more understanding for those 2 injury experiences because she did tear her ACL twice. For myself, I only have my 1 ACL, my 1 major injury that I've ever had, especially in regards to surgery. I know what it's like to process the one time. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's like to process the back-to-back. I truly cannot imagine how difficult it is to process. So give an idea. The average human has no idea what that's like. Give an idea what that was like to try to, you have all this excitement that you're back, and then you have to then come to terms with the fact that you now are out again for a long,
even longer
period
twice
of time.
Twice as long.
Yeah.
It was tough at the beginning, but like with surgeries and injuries like that, it's more mental than physical.
So much more mental.
People don't
Like,
realize that, especially ACLs. It's 6 to 9 months recovery. Yes, and it is physical and taxing on your body, but half of that recovery is mentality.
I think it's like
more than half is mentality.
Yeah, I'd say it's like 90% mental, 10% physical.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. At the beginning, it's definitely physical, but once you pass that pain point, and you have to come to the facility every day and do rehab for 2 to 3 hours a day, and then still
go to practice.
Still go to practice, still got to go to school.
Class,
I mean, it wasn't that bad with my ankle surgery. My ACL made my ankle surgery feel like it was nothing, because after my ankle surgery, I was fine. Like the day after, I had some symptoms going home the day of my surgery, but after I was fine. There was no pain.
Yeah.
I was good. I could sleep.
Yeah.
But that happened while we didn't have school. So the whole month of May, when we had a break where we could go home, I was still up here rehabbing. And I mean, that sucked, but I mean, it was a part of it. I had to be here and be ready to get back for fall. But the knee surgery, it happened I had my surgery like the week before school. And so I had a surgery on a Thursday. I stayed the night, came back up here Friday. I had Friday off, and then Saturday was the Sam Houston game. And I had to be here at, what time was the Sam Houston game? No.
Okay, I was
inside
come in early for rehab.
I had to come in before the game for rehab. I did
and then
rehab.
They don't let you go out there. I was the same. I had to be in the lounge. Yeah.
So 2 days after my surgery, I was here underneath the stadium watching the game. I was in so much pain.
I can't even imagine 2 days,
2 days
after.
And then I got the next week was school, so I had 2 days off of school, and then I went to school that next Wednesday after my surgery, and so that sucked too, being able to crutch to my class.
I was gonna say, did you have a scooter or anything?
No, I have a scooter when I'm in the facility, and like when I went out to practice, I would drive the scooter around and stuff like that.
You don't have it after?
But no.
So you were
outside of school,
on campus to class?
No, they drive me to my class, but all of my classes have stairs.
Yeah, you got to crutch.
And I, like the first day of having my crutches, I had to figure out a way to get to my class without using stairs. It took me like 15 minutes the first day.
Also, the pain. I was not at school for like 2 weeks. Oops. No, they knew. I was like, I still do not feel good.
Yes.
Really, even the pressure, like I don't know if it's the word pressure's right, but when you are even on crutches afterwards, it's like, you know, when all the blood flows.
Just swing, like moving your leg while you're crutching.
When you're in the car and someone hits a bump and it's like, oop, and you're, the little things.
I have, like, me and Deuce have, like, funny stories because, like, it was a Saturday, 2 days after my surgery, and I had finished my rehab and I was just sitting there watching the game. And I had my leg on like this little like thing to elevate my leg. Oh. And I was getting the ice and stuff.
CPR.
And it was like halftime. And my mom comes in, my dad comes in, my family comes in. And I'm just relaxing, trying to stay as still as I can. Cause like any slightly movement, it just hurts so bad. And my mom is in there and I have my leg elevated. And I have like a cover over my whole body. So I'm not like paying attention to anything. I just know they're there cause I can hear them. She says, "Oh, Donovan, this is like tilted a little bit. You're like slanted. I don't want you to fall off." She jerks the pad that my leg is elevated on. When I tell you I screamed so loud, I was so mad at my mom. I don't know why she tried to move. I was fine. She jerked it. I said, "What are you doing?" She was like, "I'm just trying to help you." I was like, "No, that didn't help at all."
You're like, I was comfortable.
No, seriously.
She probably thought you looked so uncomfortable, but people don't get it. When you find that like awkward spot,
but your leg
gonna
feels
stay
good
there because it's the most comfortable spot. Yes. It might not look normal, it might look a little crazy, but ultimately that's what's gonna keep the pain away. I'll make it work.
Seriously.
That's so funny.
Did you guys ever obviously when you are out of surgery, it's really hard to lift your leg yourself. Also, someone like me, I'm like very short armed. So like trying to reach for my leg with my brace on was a pain.
Yes.
But you like form this routine where you like lean over, grab your own leg.
Yes, it's to throw it on any. If you're sitting down, sitting on any table, you have to pick your leg up.
Yes,
in
pick your leg up, take it off. Like
in class, I'd be like, "This seat's taken from my leg."
Even sometimes now I'm like, oh, no brace. I'm like just burning to my brain. It's crazy how there's such little things that you like form. A routine over, or the little things that are so bothersome. Like you're talking about, even if your mom would have maybe moved it that much.
Oh, she did move it that much, but she yanked it. Yeah, I was like, what?
You're like, too fast.
Yes.
Too fast.
It's crazy.
It's
funny. Crazy.
Okay, well, this has been great. We're going to take a little break to hear from our sponsors, Academy Sports and Outdoors. And when we come back, we're going to hear more about Donovan and what he's doing today.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, bikes for the whole family are just a click away. Buy online at academy.com with our free in-store assembly. Your next set of wheels, plus helmets, pads, and water bottles will be waiting for you at our in-store pickup counter. Get to the fun faster with our in-store pickup and free assembly at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back from our commercial break. We're going to jump into talking with Donovan about what his rehab process and recovery process has been so far. So give us an idea of where you're at, some of the milestones that you've hit so far within these past 10 weeks, I think you were saying earlier.
Mm-hmm. So I had a little meniscus with my surgery, so that backed up the time of when I could get off crutches. So I got off crutches at 4 weeks. I progressed for like 3 days of walking with one crutch, and I was out of that crutch. So I was walking with no brace. A little bit after that, 7 weeks, I had my brace off. And once I took my brace off, that's when I really started to progress to doing more athletic stuff like squats, lunges. More at the beginning, it was really like just straight leg lifts, long arcs, where I just lift my leg up. It's just all the stuff at the beginning is just with motion and mobility. But what I've been doing recently is just working on strength. Like ever since last week, basically I just working on strength because 3 weeks from now I'm going to be running in December. No, 4 weeks. I'll start running. And so before that, all they're really worried about me is just strengthening my quads, strengthening my hamstrings to prepare to be able to run. I'm pretty sure soon I'm going to start doing more conditioning stuff because they don't want me to be dying trying to run after my rehab. So that's really where I'm at right now, but it's starting to pick up, definitely.
I'm sure you've recognized too, there's like so many things about it that I know we talked about a lot of things before this, but there's so many things that you learn you at one point took for granted, and also so many things that happen that you're able to get excited about. I think that's one of the coolest things about going through recovery is you find so many little blessings throughout. Like you're talking about, you finally got to take your brace off. That's one of the best feelings ever. One of the best. And you never would have thought that before. Being able to walk with one crutch and then no crutches. You're like, hello, who am I? Like, there's so many things I feel like you don't recognize when you haven't done it, that you take so many things for granted. Yeah. And then when going through it, there's so many little blessings that happen, and it's so cool.
It definitely is a lot. Like at the beginning, when I first got my surgery, like the biggest thing that I hated was anytime I had to get up, like off a bed or sitting down, if I were to just throw my leg off the bench, like the rush of the blood going back to your leg when you stand up. Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
You're like, ooh, give me a second.
It's like a sharp, the sharpest pain in
it's
your
like your whole leg is just like, oh my, it hurts so bad.
Yeah, it does.
So when that went away, that was a milestone. Being able to lift my leg onto a table without using my arm, that's another milestone.
Seriously, you're like,
it is though. It's important to. That's like one piece of advice whenever people ask, like, if people are going through an ACL recovery or rehab and come and ask me how mine was, like, that is what I always tell them is important to do. You have to set those little goals, or else it's just gonna be miserable, or you're just gonna feel like you're beating yourself up consistently because you think about where you were at one point and where you are now, and you feel like you just taken so many steps backwards, but you're gonna get back to that point, but in that moment it does not seem like it at all.
It's definitely night and day from where right now to the day after surgery.
And I think it's also really cool too, one, the physical therapist that we have at A&M, we were talking about Sherry, out of this world.
She's magical.
Out of this world.
She's
she
amazing.
is a magical human being. It's people like them, and it's people like you're talking about. You've been speaking with Max, who's Karlina was one of my girls that I was going to after mine. Like you have a support group that you've never really felt before, and they're also there to cheer you on in those little times when something happens. And it's such a sweet feeling when you see like happiness and excitement from other people too, witnessing like your progress that you're making.
Yeah, I agree. And I think tearing, for me, like when I look back and reflect on it and my experience, I think it was also a blessing in disguise in terms of me being able to learn more things about myself, and about, like, it was kind of forced me to take a step back from soccer and look at the big picture of what other interest was I wanting to pursue, or what other like, that's how I started Blueprint, and that's what made me want to start that. So I don't know about you, Allie, or you, Donovan, if y'all have experienced
Picasso.
anything.
I was painting all the time.
Have you found another hobby or found another interest or learned anything about yourself in the past 10 weeks so far? Or even from your April surgery too now?
I mean, I have a little bit of extra time. I mean, I don't really do anything new that I haven't done before. Before football, I painted shoes.
Okay, cool. That's so cool.
I have them on right now.
Let me see.
Okay, I kind of noticed that. Show them off.
I was looking at them when you came in. I was like, I haven't seen those before.
Don't mind if I have you paint a pair.
I don't know if you can see from here.
Can you take it off and can we give a show and tell?
An artist.
I'm pretty sure some people know.
Ooh.
Wait, those are so
good.
Cool.
Wait, that's really good.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
It doesn't even look.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, those look real.
That doesn't look like paint. That is a talent.
Wait, that's such
cool.
a talent.
I did that all through high school because that's how I made money, because I didn't have time to actually get a job. So
You do that now?
I've started to do a little bit more now because I have more time, but it kind of took a break when I got here. Like I was really
Not me gonna give you my shoes when we
my shoes. I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'll go buy some.
I've gotten back to do some of that, clean up some old shoes that I have that I haven't worn for a while.
So cool. See, unique hobbies that you never know.
That is cool.
I'm a gamer. I still game even before I was hurt.
What's your favorites?
I play a lot of 2K.
Okay.
I play
Fortnite.
Nah, not really. Everybody talking about the new update that just came out. I haven't played that. I used to play Call of Duty a lot. I don't really anymore. When a new Call of Duty come out, I'll play it. I play Mortal Kombat. Not a lot of people play that.
And you're on with the team a lot of the times.
Yeah. And my friends back home from high school, I'm still close with them.
And that's so nice, though. Like, it's like, I know a lot of people would make fun of me by saying this, but it's kind of like a way to hang out without hanging out.
Yes.
But in situations when especially you're stuck in your room.
Yeah, you're stuck with your leg propped up on the machine.
And I said CPR earlier. I don't know if anyone heard that, but the CPM machine, when you're doing that, you at least get to have people kind of like in your presence, not necessarily directly in your presence, but
that's true.
That's cool, though.
That is cool.
What have been, I think when you go through injury, you're forced to watch. Obviously, you have your rehab potentially before the game, but during the game, you're either watching, like you were saying, you're in Kyle, but you're in the lounge watching the game. You're either doing it that way or you're finally able to be out on the field watching the game. Have you picked up on any different perspectives that you now have as a football player, being able to just watch the whole game from a different way?
It's definitely a lot of things. Just being that I'm at a point where I can just sit back and observe more. I've definitely dove way more into film than last year. I'm able to see a lot of things that I haven't been able to see last year because I know more stuff, like I said before. When you know the playbook and you know what to look for, your confidence begins to build. And I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge on what defenses look like, what fronts look like. Just being able to be on the sideline and help out the tight ends that are out there right now, Max and Jake. It's just amazing to be out there and help them and tell them little things that they might not be worried about at the time because they're heightened senses because of the game. Like, it's funny to look back at what I was thinking on the sideline before last season and like what I'm watching them go through right now. It's totally different, and I'm glad I'm there to just be a support to them.
Yeah. I'm sure also that allows you to just like strengthen your relationship and friendship with them as teammates and just build like another sense of trust. I'm sure it was there before, and you always have your coaches, obviously, that you can go and ask and whatever, they might be occupied with something else or whatever the case may be, but I don't know, like them being able to trust that you are going to tell them and be honest with them and have their best interest in mind, because I'm sure that they understand you would want to be out, like you want to be out there too,
definitely,
you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I also think it's like a lot of learning more things about yourself too. The relationship part, I 110% agree with. Like there's people who will come out of nowhere that you did not expect to like reach out or anything, that you're like, oh my gosh, that's so kind. Or like people on the team who you may not be close with that will come out of nowhere and be like, you know what, I was already close with Carl, so not an example, but it's about relationships, learning things about relationships, learning things about yourself. For you, what has this experience so far taught you that you feel like is going to help translate into your life after this?
Definitely just being able to stay on track when everything might not is going your way. I've had time before, and I'm always in the Word of God. I love Jesus Christ. But I've taken the time right now to, I guess, dive more into it and just being able to trust him more with my situation and really just sit back and let him lead my life and just focus on his will. Just being able to, I guess, know where I'm supposed to be and just being able to trust it just grown like a lot in this situation. And I'm just sitting back trusting in this process. So.
Yeah, I love that. Clearly,
stop hugging me.
Clearly,
oh my gosh.
we love that.
We both love it.
I was the same exact way, like 110% the same exact way. It completely put so many things into perspective in my life. I feel like allowed me to spend my time, put my trust, like you're saying, like I was the same exact way, put my trust in the Lord, and I just went on each day trusting that it was all for a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. I know that's so cliche, but it truly, truly does.
It's not cliche. I think it's like, I completely agree. Like, I'm also someone that thinks everything happens for a reason. And because of that, and because we are trusting in our faith, it's made me like be excited about what's to come.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
okay, I feel bad for myself. I gave myself a week to cry and feel sorry for myself. And then I was like, okay, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I can't go back.
Yeah.
I have to go through this storm or whatever it is going to be. But like, I'm excited to see my
Yes.
comeback. I'm excited to see what I'm going to accomplish
Yeah.
once I do come back.
And
for
it
me.
really, like, it might take time. That's never something that the answer is given right away, because there's many a days where it really is like, why? Like, why did this happen?
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, there's
Yeah.
so many instances where that happens. And for myself, I didn't know what the reason as to why it happened was, because it was senior year and I was going to be done. I didn't like see the blessing of it until we were done with school. I was graduated and I was able to see a lot of the other seniors who finished season normally, who it was taken from them like that, no more soccer, like your last game's your last game. For me, one of the blessings was that was my last time playing soccer, but I at least got to experience the rest of it with the team while I was processing being done. I can look at the situation and be so grateful that that happened.
Yeah.
It's like just being able to find little things that you are so grateful for and can see the blessing of. But
Yeah. So we kind of warned you about this.
Oh, yeah, we
in
did
the
warn you.
beginning that we always like to, before we close, we always like to ask our guests if they could put their experience or the journey that they've been on so far into a cheesy tagline or a quote or anything that resonates with them. What would it be?
I kind of like what y'all were saying, like focus on the little things. But I mean, I guess what I could say now is just take it day by day.
yeah,
Day by day.
Day by day.
Every
I like
day.
that one. Day by day.
Amen. Day by day.
Especially with the journey you're on right now,
Yes.
that is definitely a day by day
Yes.
process.
Day by day.
It
Yes.
is definitely awesome. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much,
this has
Donovan.
been so great.
It
Thank you
has
for
been.
coming and being transparent. It's hard sometimes to like fully let out the raw emotion and stuff. So thanks for being transparent and honest with hopefully a lot of people that will view this and be able to have more understanding for your story and experience. But
Awesome. Well, this has been another episode of Behind the Number, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and we will see you guys next time.